story. But so V, why don't you explain, V, obviously, I guess quickly for the last time, how's that?
Okay.
Who you are for the last time.
Hi, well, my name's Violet, and I'm a trans person, and I don't particularly, I don't know what to say really, other than like I have hang downs, as Biscuit said yesterday, and I don't necessarily present the way that other people would enjoy me to present myself as a trans woman, and that's going to be the start of what I'm sure I'm most interested in the conversation. But I came out like 3 years ago now. I think like I'm literally coming up on the 24th of this month. Will be the 3rd year. And so I don't know. Yeah. Is that good?
I guess my main question to you is, do you plan to medically transition into a female?
What does that mean to you?
A female.
No. I mean medically transitional. So what do you medically transition into a female? That's all I want to know.
Go on hormones. All that. You're on hormones.
No, I'm not on hormones currently.
But
no.
you're going to?
I plan to, yes. I live in the South right now, and I'm not entirely. It's not great for me right now. So no, I'm not doing it right now. But in the future, yes, I do plan on going.
So you plan to medically transition, meaning you plan to take estrogen and hormones to make you more feminine and things like that. Do you plan to grow out your hair, or you're gonna, like, hair doesn't mean anything. This is just a question, but do you plan to grow out your hair, or you want to keep the short hair?
I got a rat tail going on that I like quite a bit. I like my rat tail quite a bit.
Like wear wigs, makeup, or you plan to just?
I mean, if I feel like it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But the fact that you plan to medically transition is a big deal. So that, to me, if that's your plan and and you're being halted, you're in this state right now where you're forced to kind of be non-binary because you can't get the medical attention you need, and that's unfortunate. But you are a female because you want to transition into one. You, I assume, have gender dysphoria.
Yeah, I feel like most trans people do. So
Agree that to be trans you need to experience gender dysphoria.
No, I don't think you need to. No, because I think being trans is identity entirely. It's not. I mean, literally, you can look up. It's no longer considered a mental disorder. It's no longer considered like I have to do this to be trans. So like, identity is something completely separate than just I'm gonna go on hormones. I'm gonna do this. So like, ultimately, I don't see a problem with trans people who don't have gender.
That was gonna be my next question. ConTrolla would be, what if V didn't want to take hormone? You know, like, what is your stance in the event of somebody, like, I'm sure there's plenty of trans women out there that are like, no, I don't, you know, I don't want to. And this is obviously, Trolla, you and I have spoken, but share obviously your opinion if you didn't have, you know, if she didn't want to do that, if she wasn't looking.
So if there was a male who wanted to identify as a female but didn't want to transition in any way, to me that's a male no matter what.
Well, that's a really, really, really simplistic way of thinking.
Well,
identity. No, just because it's weird coming from you, because I feel like you are not like the other idiots in the room. And that's why it's ultimately more frustrating that you have these weird views on like what should be accepted as a trans person.
I'm gonna trade on it really quickly.
Huh?
for you. Because when you do that, when like this what Biden just put into order, like the Jessica Yaniv's of the world, things like that. And I know that that's a poor example, but
Yeah, it is.
like that come into play, what happens is that you open up safe spaces that are meant for women to people who are say, well, all I got to do is say I identify as a woman and I can go into a woman's locker room or I can go into a woman's bathroom. Oh, cool. This is awesome. I can go get a free show. You know what I mean? And it puts me, women like me, and little girls like my daughter in vulnerable positions. That's
Okay, and that's
What's
that's
the name
fine,
you
but-
guys just said? Who is this case of somebody? You just said a name. What is this?
Eve's going to be the thing that will the person that will continually be brought up in bathroom cases because she
What
decided.
did she do? What did she do?
Yeah, she took pictures of women in stalls and shit, and it's like one isolated incident, and that's what every single person who has negative views on bathrooms always go to Jessica Yanib because not really even because there's not because there's not really any other examples of that in public places or anything that would say that. So obviously you're gonna say Jessica Yanib, Jessica Yanib, Jessica Yanib, and that's cool. But like
of people, that's the most popular example, but there are more examples of people in Canada, not in America, but people in Canada, because in Canada, if you say you're a woman by law. All you have to do is go. You don't have to see a therapist. You don't have to go on hormones. You don't have to go through what trans women in America have to go through. You can just go, kind of like go to DMV and say, well, I identify as a woman and you're a woman. And then
right
you
on.
are allowed to go into safe spaces meant for women.
Right
and
on.
That's the
And that's not an issue. Where it becomes an issue is an individual person. It's fine that you're not comfortable with it. There's a reason that I don't use women's room. It's very similar. I don't present. I don't feel like it's something that I should do in regard to comfort. I can say, and I know that you don't care about how I feel, but when I walk into a men's room, every single time I walk into a men's room, I feel like shit. I know that that's not something that you care about.
No, I do care about.
No. You don't, because you say you're threatened by me in a space with women. So ultimately,
you said that you're going to transition, right? You said that your plan is to go on hormones. You don't threaten me in any way, shape, or form. It's the people that say I'm a woman just for the sake of I'm a woman without any plan to do anything to become closer to becoming a woman.
Yeah, and I personally plan to, but I also have friends that don't. If you know anything about estrogen, that completely alters your body. So like, and it also there are also, it doesn't take for some women. It's harmful for some women. So ultimately, I don't understand because like there are some women who can't even get on estrogen because they have prior conditions, they have disabilities, they have other things that also bring up the fact that they can't actually go on hormones. And so, I mean, any less of a woman because they can't actually do it, their body would refuse it? Because that's what you're saying.
We're talking about specialized situations. I want to talk about the general. I don't want to talk about,
but it's very, I mean, it's obvious. It happens to a lot of people, a lot of my friends actually. So like, I just want to like, what in that particular incident, when somebody can't go on hormones, I'm not even going to say about why I think that's shitty, but that's neither here nor there. What about in the case, also, how should we present to you, ConTrolla? I think that's ultimately where I come down to. How should I wear a ribbon in my hair? Should I wear a dress? Should I like get all pretty for you?
No, but
I don't understand.
You should make an attempt to, if you want to be a woman, you should make an attempt to present somewhat as what a woman looks like in society.
I guess that's where I struggle with that though, is because I don't feel, me brushing my hair, putting on makeup makes me a woman. I
It
don't.
does nothing to do with hair or makeup. It just has
So
to
then we
do,
go into the biology.
it doesn't have to do with biology either. It has to do with more so, you know, look, taking time out to look just a bit feminine, not walking around like when I first met her, she had a full beard. You know what I mean? That
Well,
in public.
she's showing cleavage. I mean, what more do you want?
Well, yeah, that's like the funny
Here,
side.
I'll do
of it all is
another
exactly that.
button down for you boys.
But
Give them what they want.
is that,
Is this good now?
like just little things, like just to be a bit more feminine, to make other, because the way that you want me to make you feel comfortable.
And that was, I guess, my point too, is that, there's definitely women that are tomboys that, don't, I guess, look like. I know plenty of girls that are, straight women that look manly as fuck, and that's just how they look, how they are. That was the example I was using.
Funny that she made the comment, but the point is that the way that you want me to make you feel comfortable, don't you want to make women feel comfortable in the same aspect?
Yeah, that's literally everything that I want.
Well, I guess that's where I don't agree with, because I don't think you should give a fuck what anybody else thinks. You need to feel comfortable yourself. Who gives a shit if you're making other broads feel uncomfortable or other men feeling uncomfortable?
But it still is a
you.
thing, because but ultimately I come from such a place of respect towards women, that I want that. I want them to actually feel as comfortable as possible. And I don't know, the disconnect is where I don't know what I need to do in order for you to feel comfortable.
It's not even.
So there comes a point where I can't make you feel comfortable, Trolla. I can't make you feel comfortable, Trolla.
What about this new thing with transgendered females competing in
Shit.
sports? What about that?
I don't see a problem with that. If they want to go, no.
You don't think that it's unfair that transgendered females have went through male puberty and their bone density and everything else like that is different, and they're actually biologically stronger than a lot of the women that they're competing against?
Oh man. Okay, so this is another fun one. There are countless, you can just Google search trans women in sports leagues, and for example, running or something like that, like track or something like that, and they don't place this mysterious high up there. They get beaten by women, cis women. So ultimately, that's just a complete idiotic thing that people say because they want to justify saying that trans women aren't women. And it ultimately is false. You can look up, you can literally look up data of trans women that are in cis leagues. And guess what? They're performing the exact same as the women. Weird, right? They're biologically different. They're stronger. They got bigger. Yeah. So, but wait, they're performing at the same exact level. What's happening there? I don't understand. I thought they were supposed to be superior.
Where's this source from? Because I have sources to the contrary.
Okay, you probably have a few isolated incidents of women that are actually
high school girls that lost scholarships actually due to it.
I didn't know, again, in Canada, obviously. So what age are you allowed to state what your gender is? Do they have any regulations or ages when you can state that you feel you're a man or a woman?
What's it like to be a trans lesbian?
That sucks.
Oh, you're
answer that shit real quick. It sucks.
There are some that would argue that being a trans lesbian is tantamount to being a straight man. Is it? How do you feel about
not
that?
at all. That's not true at all. No. My dating pool was wide open when I identified as a straight man. It is not wide open anymore. So
Courtney, check your porch. Check your
Oh my
porch.
God. All right, I'm gonna be right back. Y'all keep talking. I'll be right back. This motherfucker. You're the worst, Muse.
Good news.
oh shit, Muse dropped the Pacquiao.
So back to the question.
Yeah.
Being a trans lesbian, I think. Well, what's that like? Because I know I have a friend. I think I have a friend that I was asking about being a lesbian in the past, and she was just explaining a little bit about how she felt and her experiences. And so, what are your experiences like?
My experiences have. I mean, I don't really have any experiences because I have not. I've used like apps and things like that, and I've tried to like put myself out there. And what I've found is that predominantly I have less of a dating pool. I have less of, because of the fact that we have trollas out there.
Wait a minute.
Ultimately,
because you have people like me?
yeah. People like you who view identity as nothing more than if I make myself pretty and I turn up.
So that doesn't apply to me.
I mean, I know that, but you still have the same exact belief as a TERF.
No,
I don't think.
like very
Yeah, you
against
do.
TERFs.
You do.
And
No,
that's-
you don't. You are one wounded. It's okay. It's okay.
I don't think. I just similar to.
No, it's more
let's say-
transphobic. It's not. It's more. Yeah, I know, and I agree with that.
Let's say, okay,
That's also.
Let's say everyone lumps you into one category, correct? And that's something that maybe you might not like. You might, what's the word I'm looking for? You might resent that you get lumped into a single category as a trans whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
I think similarly right now what you're doing is you're lumping ConTrolla into a category that she might resent.
Yeah.
And so the point I'm trying to make
It's probably
is,
not as fair as I could be. I guess I just.
the point that I'm trying to make is that Carl said, "What's up, Trolla?"
Who?
Carl the fans. Carl the fans a big fan of yours.
Mattel, I agree with you.
All
Actually,
right, do you guys want to see this just really quick so we can go back to talking? So
TERF.
I just had Postmates come.
Made video against TERFs like Ella, androphobia, whatever that is. I've
I love you,
made
museum.
of Calvin Garrow and what she did to him. I'm the furthest thing from a TERF.
I'm sorry I said that. You don't deserve
I
that.
believe
You don't deserve that. I got a little heated.
It was delivered
Sorry
here.
about that.
It was delivered.
it's right. It's fine. I get this is, but my beliefs very much align with those of Blair White and Calvin Garrow.
Blair White still has her
What's
shit
the-
though, right?
No, but she presents. She's okay.
She's getting the surgery.
But you know what's funny about Blair White? I just saw she was on an LGBT conservative talk show, and these are her people, right? And they told her shave your mustache off and everything like that, and so ultimately it comes off to Blair White is a liar. But anyway, I don't want to talk about Blair White. I want to just say I'm sorry. I got a little heated with that. You didn't deserve to be called a TERF. You don't deserve to be called. I don't know. I think there's a little bit of misinformation. I don't understand like some things about what you say in regard to identity, because I I just don't know, because you're just gonna repeat the same thing, and it's like it's okay. Like I understand like your views, but like
I guess
just
the
wouldn't agree with
confusing
them.
part for me though, Troll, is like, okay, so how do you identify, like you said, you know, if you go into a bathroom and there's somebody in the restroom that looks like a very masculine man, you feel threatened by it. But in the event that they are in the future going to eventually take hormone medication, then you don't feel threatened. That's where I don't understand, like, you know,
No,
where.
I feel like until
Yeah, you're right, Scully.
I feel like until somebody is in, you know, in their transition stage, they shouldn't use the female's bathroom.
I love that he sent you that
I
gas.
just got gas relief from Postmates. It's the greatest thing ever.
Hold on. Say that one more time.
I feel like until someone's in their stage of transition, that they shouldn't use the women's bathroom.
Well, why?
Well, because they're not, until they're on hormones, they're not in, you know, they're not a woman really. They're not doing anything to become a woman. They're not.
So
They're not.
I'm not here advocating for
When
Lil
you
Mama or anything like
start,
that.
when you
I
start
I
hormone
just I just
therapy,
want to know.
develop
I'm
your voice
curious.
changes.